and
Nice.
and Neil is just taking care of things. So okay,
Awesome.
so
Well, I go
let's
to
see.
Japan.
Instead, you're stuck here with us.
That's too long.
Okay, hang on. Let's see here. I'm just getting everything ready. It's Jamie, can you hear this?
Yep.
You can hear me now. I can hear me. I think we're live here. Is it too loud, sir?
It's not as loud as it was before. It could be
Yeah.
a little bit quieter, but it's not bad.
All right, no problem. I just wanted to see there. We're just kind of set things up before we start. Hello, everybody out in YouTube land. I see we're live. I know we're live because I can see you there. I can see us
Yeah, I can
there.
see it. Yep.
Hello, Shannon and Scott. How are you?
Hey.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. How's the Tesla?
It's good. It's really good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
It
You enjoying
encourages us to go places because we don't have to pay for gas, so we can drive a much further
That's
distance.
true.
So,
Yeah.
or else we
I've been
wouldn't be going
watching
on.
your videos where you travel out to like way into BC, and it surprises me they still have like electric stations for you guys there.
We actually
It's
had
just-
more than actual gas stations. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you know that stretch on the highway when you're going up into Okanagan where there's just like, this is the last gas station. Make sure you gas up. There's actually a charger halfway through there.
We're the only ones who have
BC
the
hydro
option
charger,
to
so,
add stuff. So,
yeah. But
Oh,
but
that's really
that's
cool.
the beauty of the Teslas. The network is so amazing, and if you're plotting like when we drove to Drumheller, you're gonna have to stop here, 7 minutes here, 8 minutes there, 7 minutes here, and then that's how you just plot your course.
mhm.
And we erred on the side of caution because what if there's no power when we get there at the next station? So we charge up like 45 minutes instead of 7.
Well, there's always
So-
construction too, and I didn't want to be stuck.
Yeah.
But I wasn't worried. Now that I've done that trip, I know that we can totally do it anywhere. So, most
That's
anywhere.
awesome.
Maybe not Alaska, but
we want to do more. We want to go to
Yeah.
California, but it's the summertime thing, right? You got to figure out where the fires are and sure you can go around that, right? I mean, that's the year that we went to Drumheller. Fantastic. It was great. There was no fires. Year after that, Okanagan was on fire. Year before,
Yeah.
Okanagan was on fire. It's
yes.
terrible.
And bringing the car to California, which means Disneyland, which means Galaxy's Edge, which means I can buy a bunch of stuff and put it in the car and
Oh
not
my
worry
God.
about weight. So,
That's awesome.
we did it last
And-
time, but I like to just put it in the car. So,
There's a lot more stations on the way down to Cali, so
Yeah.
you're not really
Sure.
worried as much as you are going out to BC.
no, just
Ahoy,
just
hoy,
rock-
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, Hosnose is out there. So we know the chat's working. Thanks for testing, Steve. You're awesome.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
Look at how professional he looks in his little profile
I
photo.
know. It's like he actually knows what he's doing. It's fantastic.
He looks like such a respectable guy. We know
Should
better.
work in like a
though.
museum or something off that look.
Yeah, my professional photo is me with an alien, so it's gonna go.
Yeah, mine's one with a stormtrooper helmet on.
Steve says, "Shut it."
Yeah, you can't shut me up, Steve. I'm the one with the microphone.
I have the power to take Jamie off if you want, Steve. Watch this. See, there he goes.
If you
And
want.
Now he's back. And there he goes. And now he's back. Look at this. I can just keep taking him away and just keep putting him back there.
Yeah, well, this was a great idea to give Rob all the power over this shit.
Rob, I
He's
just
not
want-
abusing it at all.
Just wanted
I
to say,
blink furiously. I'm blinking because there's abuse.
Here, I'll put him away. You were saying, Scott? You were saying something?
I wanted to say how fabulous I think you are, and just how much of a great friend you are, and I just really enjoy being in your presence.
All right. Well, there we go. You hear that, Jamie?
Yeah. So
Hear
I heard that Scott is a liar.
that? Okay, he doesn't have to stay anymore. He's gone. Remember when you shut me up with the recorder, sir?
Yeah, that had to be done. That was a crime against humanity.
Yeah, you're right.
This
you're right.
reminds me. We've been watching a show called Staged on
Oh my God.
Brit TV, and it's
BritBox.
David Tennant, and they're having during COVID they had the whole chat thing like this, and they kept
Oh.
yelling at each other, different actors, and just shutting off the camera when they were mad at each other. It was great.
It's great.
Is that the one where they're arguing about the painting of the
They're
pineapple?
arguing about they're trying to rehearse for a play,
Probably.
and they're arguing about doing the play. Who's going to be first in the credits, and And so it's just so funny. You have to watch. It's called Stage. It's really awesome.
I think I've seen clips here and there, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Jamie, who's the guy? It's David Tennant. Who's the other guy?
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen. Those two together are freaking. They're a hoot.
Yeah, they're the best not married couple ever.
Look what I painted. You did not. I did. It's like, you angry I got a hobby. Is apparently so. But they were good in Good Omens. That's a great show. Those two together are fantastic. Have you guys seen that?
We watched like a couple of episodes and then just sort of lost track. I do that a lot, where we start things and then never get back to them, and just like, hey, remember when we were watching that? But then you've got like, I mean, is there multiple seasons of that show?
There's 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can do it
after we get through Stage, which we're ripping through.
Yeah.
We'll go back to Good Omen.
No pressure. We won't be checking up on you, so it's all good. I'm going to take off Shut It. I don't need Steve telling me to shut it on a 24-hour basis here. So
that's
I think what we're going to do is we're going to start the show here. The 7 weeks, we got about an hour. We're going to talk about summer school. So let me turn off the music. That was just kind of green room music here. Now, you guys may not know, but I got like this thing we start the show. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, starting soon.
Nice.
So and then we bring it back. We bring it back. There we are. So, okay.
No,
they got like, what was it again? What's that board called?
It's called the Rodecaster Pro.
What's the other sound?
You mean this one?
Okay. Yeah. Lots of fun things like that.
Rob, you're not allowed to get one.
I'm already writing it down.
I know.
What if we get it for Jamie? We could loan it to Jamie.
I have one for me that's just sparkles, like bling.
Oh, whenever Shannon shows up?
Yeah. See, our future podcast would just be Rob just making noises on the soundboard.
Fart noises.
And if I got one every time I push a button, I would get muted.
Yeah, this is why it's on his side, because all I'm going to do is hit buttons all day.
I'd also watch that show.
Yeah.
Just
don't encourage Rob.
It gets the likes, sir.
Yeah.
Get the hammer. Gets the likes. All right, we're going to start the show here. So you ready? Here we go. Welcome to the Generation X-Wing podcast, a modern look at a retro lifestyle. My name is Rob Williams, and I'm here with
Jamie Palewriter.
Now, Steve, he's watching the premiere of Aliens. What's the
Alien Romulus?
Alien Romulus, my favorite movie of all time. And Anil's has daddy duties, so we thought we'd bring in Scott and Shannon Smith of Hey Weirdos, or Weird Together on YouTube. Hello, guys.
Hello.
I'm so happy you guys are back. Last time you guys were on, around a year ago today, we watched Night of the Comet, one of the best, worst movies we've seen in a long time.
That's probably the way to describe it. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and it was especially fun watching the movie or talking about the movie with you guys. So I thought, summer's happening again. Let's get you guys back on the show and let's talk about a great, fun summer movie. And you guys chose Summer School from 1987. Now, I'm curious as to why this movie.
I remember watching this movie probably in like 1988 in the summer, probably while I was going to summer school. And I just remember something about that movie. And then so like I hadn't watched it in a long time. So I just thought we'd throw that into the mix. We gave you a list of a couple of things. I'm curious on why you chose Summer School off of the 3 that we gave you.
Yeah, that's very true. You did give us a list, and I can't remember what the other 2 movies were. I'm assuming they were scary or horror.
No, exactly. So Space Camp from around the same era.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Monster Squad. Which I don't even think it's a summer movie when I think about it. So I was drunk, obviously, when
I think I paused on Monster Squad because it's more of a Halloween movie. And when you said Summer School, I was just immediately summer. Yeah. I don't know anything about Space Camp, but Summer School is a movie I've seen in the past, and I remember enjoying. So I thought it'd be perfect for the summertime. I have taught summer school. I've never been to summer school, but I have taught it for many years. And Jamie, I think you were homeschooled, weren't you, sir? You're shaking your head. Do you have a sound for shaking of the head?
No, but this one never fails.
Yeah.
Come on.
I want one of those, Jamie. I want one of those. So he's shaking his head again. So this is going to be fun. We're going to be talking about summer school from 1987. Let me do the rundown first, just like we usually do here. So Summer School, 1987, a comedy film directed by Carl Reiner. It stars Mark Harmon as Freddie Shoup, the best teacher name in the world, by the way. A laid-back high school gym teacher who's reluctantly assigned to teach a remedial English class during summer school. His students are a group of misfit teenagers with a variety of problems, ranging from apathy to personal struggles. As Freddie learns to connect with them and motivate his students, he helps them overcome their obstacles and grow. So, boy, that just fluffs up the movie big time, doesn't it, Jamie? Is that pretty accurate, though?
I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Pretty accurate. I wrote that myself with a little help from AI. It does star. Let me get the cast of characters. Mark Harmon, of course, the heartthrob of the 80s, along with Tom Selleck and all the other people. Kirstie Alley, my heartthrob. Robin Thomas, Courtney Thorne-Smith, Dean Cameron, Gary Riley, some other Shawnee Smith, one of the more well-known names. Fabia, I can never pronounce this girl's name. Udenio?
Sounds good to me, man.
She was a lot of vagina in Austin Powers. Reiner had a little bit of a cameo in this as well, who directed the whole movie. It was a screenplay by Jeff Franklin and story by Jeff Franklin, Stuart Birnbaum, and David Dashev. Music by, do you know who did the music, guys? Yeah, you're shaking your head, Scott.
Oh, I know.
He knows.
Infamous Danny Elfman.
Danny Elfman, yes. This is just before he did Batman, I believe.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Was he also in Oingo Boingo?
That is correct, right, sir. He
was
also in Oingo Boingo.
Change, right? Did Weird Science. Song was in that, but started doing these scores. Like it doesn't even sound like Danny Elfman, and I don't even remember the music. Like music to me doesn't even stand out in this movie. Not like what happens in his career.
No, not at all.
No, it doesn't stand out. In fact, E.G. Daily has a number of songs in this movie, and E.G. Daily is more famous for her voice acting as well. But I mean, there was a point in the 80s where everybody was given a shot on music, and the soundtrack doesn't hold up for me. So when I heard that he was part of it, I was like, I don't remember anything goofy or weird.
Yeah.
So there was a specific song written by somebody. I can't remember her name now.
That was the
EG, whatever.
EG,
yeah. I can't remember the name of the song anymore, but E.G. Daily was part of that as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Wolfman as Nards. Thank you, Steve. Sorry, we'll do that movie. Maybe it's Halloween or something like that. So, but Jamie, I want to ask you. This is the first time you've seen this movie, hasn't it?
Yep.
So what do you think of it so far? Initial reaction.
It was fun. It was a fun summer movie.
It was okay because we talked a little bit when we were together last night working on your proton pack. We didn't want to talk too much, but I totally got the sense you did not like this movie. I mean,
it wasn't like a fantastic movie by any means, but it was a fun summer movie for sure.
Okay, Shannon, what about you? When's the first time you've seen this movie, and what was your reaction looking at it today?
I probably saw it close to when it came out, but I don't remember where I saw it. Everything's a blur. The older I get, the more blurry it gets. But it's fine. I think I was a little late watching it, but I liked it at the time. It's one of those movies that if it's on in the background, I'm probably going to sit and watch it because it's just there. It's just one of those nostalgia movies. I wouldn't say it's the best movie out there, but it's especially when it came out when Lost Boys came out and Revenge of the Nerds 2 and all this other stuff. And they did better than most of those, which is crazy to me.
That's what I heard. This movie, again, you said came out Lost Boys and that, and it was one of the better received. Well, not better received. It made more money that year compared to those ones. But those movies have stood the test of time better. So, what about you, Scott?
So I did see it in the summer. I think it was probably. I'm guessing here. Do you remember when First Choice Super Channel had free weekends? Do you remember that?
Totally remember that. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I watched it on one of those times, and I as Shannon described, I think a good way for this movie, it's that era when you were flipping through the channels and this movie was on. I would probably pick up and watch the rest of it. It's not one of those movies now in hindsight where I'd be like, oh my God, have you seen Summer School? And I'm searching for it on one of the streaming platforms. I think we actually had to buy it to watch it, did we? Or it was on YouTube.
It was. I thought we watched on YouTube first, but I ended up buying
Yeah.
it because it was cheap, and then I can go back and watch it again if I need to.
I want to see pretty Mark Harmon in HD, basically. I want to see
That's
sexiest man.
we'll have to talk about
1980.
Scott went on a Mark Harmon path after this.
Oh man,
He watched
yeah.
all his
Yeah.
Coors commercials.
I have two ratings for this.
He now
movie.
has a crush on him.
Yeah.
You have 2 ratings.
I pre Coors commercials and post Coors commercials.
I don't remember the Coors commercial with the Mark Harmon.
I don't either, but they're
Did
amazing.
A zillion of
Yeah.
them, and they're all on YouTube, and they're amazing.
I'm like literally typing that in right now. Commercial
It's
Harmon.
There's
Holy
like
cow.
there's like 15 of them.
it's kind of a fascinating time in beer commercials because it's nothing like the modern day beer commercial or even the 80s beer commercials where it's, parties, chicks, and all this. They're single shot. He's camping. He's building something.
Oh yeah.
And then it's standing beside a stream, and it's all like he's had a hard day at work, and he picks up this beer, and he's describing it almost like a craft beer, like
Craft beer Coors.
right.
Yeah.
And the way he's describing it and the way they positioned the beer, it's like it's just a forgotten era of beer commercials that I didn't even know existed. So how can it be forgotten if I didn't know? But anyways, like the more and more I watched, I'm just like, yeah, Mark Harmon, he's all right. Nice guy.
All right.
It's all right.
Like I'm looking at these thumbnails. There's him in a jean jacket with looks like a lumberjack shirt, standing by a river. There's him standing in a tree, just kind of casually holding the beer. He's leaning on a chair. He's by the river, as you said. Now he's got that. He's looking like a lumberjack with a vest, holding a stein. Oh my God, this guy is like selling that beer hard. So I'm almost wanting to take up drinking at this point.
Yeah, that's great. Our camera's dropped out. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, no problem. While you're fixing that, I do remember just quick sidebar. Rainier and Coors were competing here in Washington, and Coors Rainier beer had this commercial. It goes Rainier beer, and then all of a sudden Coors, like a motorcycle, just drives right by them. I totally remember that commercial. So it's just now when you mention that, then thinking, Jamie, I've never drinking Coors. Have you had a Coors?
Not on purpose.
Drinking, of course.
Yeah, we sought it out, but we can't.
So
find
like
it.
odds are probably yes, but yeah, not by design.
Okay. I don't know if it's any good or not. It just seems like all right then. Sounds
If
about
it's
right.
yeah, I mean, I'm admittedly a bit snobby when it comes to all forms of alcohol, but yeah, pretty much anything domestic, like it might be fine, but it's not going to be good, at least compared to anything else. Like if a domestic mass-produced beer is never going to be as good as a craft beer, but like a craft beer is typically going to be noticeably more expensive though too.
Yeah.
So like you get
mass-produced
what you
stuff.
pay for. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, like alcohol across the board is going way up in price, especially in BC. Like the prices on alcohol, including like taxes and things like that, are getting pretty insane.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. So we got our welcome back.
Sorry, we
guys.
cut out there.
No worries, no worries.
I was
We're
so
glad to hear.
offended by the beer talk.
You will not besmirch the good name of Coors.
Out of here.
I'm a bud man.
Yeah, the fine people at Coors would be rolling in their grave. That's the best I got. I don't know.
It did make you want a Coors, though.
I do want to buy a Coors. The problem is I don't need 12.
Yeah.
I want to
Honestly, you know what, Scott? The only thing I think of, and this is a good kind of connection. I always
Mhm.
think of Coors Banquet when I think of Coors.
What?
You know who drinks
That's
Coors Banquet? Johnny fucking Lawrence. That's who.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100%
You
right.
would totally drink that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does. He drinks so much of it in Cobra Kai.
Oh my.
You're absolutely
gosh.
right.
That's his
So,
go-to is Coors Banquet.
That's the next addition to the costume. Is I should be walking around with a
I don't know if you'll be allowed.
Just be
to hunt.
drunk. Just be drunk.
Maybe an American Comic Con, like
On it.
Washington, because they have alcohol
Yeah.
there. But yeah, not Canada.
For me, the first time going back to the movie, we gotta bring it back to the movie here.
Oh, right.
Okay, we're staggering around like a bunch of drunks on Coors. For me, I think when you mentioned the Super Channel, I think that's when I first saw this as well. I have a feeling this is around that time because I don't remember seeing this in theater. I think like 87, I was in grade 9 at the time. And I think it was around that time I saw that we had the Super Channel at the house. So I had a lot. I remember enjoying it. Just with chainsaw on them, just silly. Everybody was just silly and weird. So yeah, but now after watching it, I actually enjoyed it more. I am an educator for full disclosure. I'm an educator. I have taught summer school to middle school and elementary, not to high school. You could not get me into that building. That will never happen. No, I think this subconsciously disturbed me and scared me from actually becoming a high school teacher, if anything. But looking back at it now, and I won't dwell on the fact that the amount of times Shoop should have been fired just within the first 5 minutes alone of his career. It's just kind of weird, but we'll touch a bit into that. But I did enjoy the movie. I had a lot of fun with this. It was a nice kind of leave your brain at the door and just watch the silliness. So I wanted to get into some of the things that what is it? Let's start with Shannon here. What is it you enjoyed about this movie?
I think my favorite characters were Chainsaw and Dave because I love the FX stuff that they did at the end, like with the substitute showing up. I love that. They were the most entertaining to me. Yeah, and then them doing all the little reviews on the fly, which was awesome. I love that part about it. I think if they weren't in it, I'd probably not like the movie as much.
They really did kind of not save the movie, but just keep you wanting to watch.
Yeah,
like
because
they added a lot of color.
Yeah, and like them in the car when they're doing the driver's test, and he kept looking back when she looked back. Like that is just funny. I love that.
It's good. He doesn't go over the top. I felt he was like a young Bill Murray. He was kind of channeling that Bill Murray sort of aura, because I think that when they asked Harmon to be in this movie, I think he was expecting to be like that Bill Murray character. And he was like, I'm not a funny guy. I don't know if you guys heard the story of how he got the part. He sat down with Carl Reiner. Carl Reiner asked, he was like, telling Carl, I'm not funny. He's been doing a bunch of other serious movies. I don't think I can do this. Carl was just, come for lunch. We'll sit down and we'll have lunch. And then he invites 2 people to come to lunch with him. Steve Martin was the first person to sit down, and Mel Brooks was the second. So 4 of them sitting at lunch, 3 of them convinced Mark Harmon to do this movie. And I think they were throwing around the idea of, I mentioned Tom Selleck earlier. They were throwing around the idea of Tom Selleck, but they talked him into doing the movie. And so it kind of like, if you're getting the blessing from like 3 very, very funny people, then you kind of have to do it. So, and I think he pulled it off quite well. But I want to ask Scott here, what did you enjoy about this movie?
I mean, it is Chainsaw and Dave. For me, those are the guys that stand out. I mean, they're not quite Spicoli, they're not quite Bill and Ted, but they're of that kind of, genre, if it were, those kind of characters. But I mean, those are the guys that have always sort of stuck with me. Those are the 2 that I remember other than Mark Harmon from the movie. But then, looking back, it's like I remember seeing Shawnee Smith. I remember seeing. I didn't make the Austin Powers reference to what was the girl's name, the foreign exchange student. I didn't make that. I didn't realize that was her years later.
Anna Maria.
Yeah, I just wanted to make you just say that last name again.
Oh, I still don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's those 2 guys. Those 2 guys are it. And we keep seeing Dean Cameron at all the Comic Cons we go to, or a lot of the horror cons. Like he's sort of latched into that, and I've never had a reason to go up and say hi to him, but now I think I will, because it's just seems like a great dude, and he's just really, really funny.
Seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
Jamie, what about you? What did you enjoy about this?
Yeah, Chainsaw and Dave for sure. They definitely, like Scott, you mentioned Bill and Ted, and that's immediately what I thought of. In fact, I had a bit of a lightning bolt moment when I was watching it. Because I think I must have remembered it from the trailer way back when he says, "Guys, take your seats," and they stand up and go, "Where should we take them?" I thought for sure that was Bill and Ted, and like I remembered that in my brain being Bill and Ted, not Chainsaw and Dave. So when that happened, I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, oh that was all right." So yeah, they definitely feel like they're kind of riffing on that Bill and Ted vibe, but it was fun. Mark Harmon was great. He was a pretty charming dude. Overall, just the movie had a pretty fun vibe to it.
Bill and Ted was 2 years after this.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was 89. I've just checked now. I was like, which one came first? I think Keanu Reeves was doing like Parenthood around this time or so. But
Really?
sorry.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this because the silliness of as you were saying, Chainsaw and Dave. I enjoyed Mark Harmon. He was just kind of a chill sort of person. Not when I was a kid, he just seemed cool. As an adult, he was a pushover, but still, he still in time had the respect of the students. Although knowing students a lot of the time is what'd you do for us lately, which you see in this movie. There's a point where they try to renegotiate the contract that they make, and there's a point where like Mark Shoop is just like he's pissed. It's like, I did all this stuff for you. I went to jail for you. I did all this, and you want more. And sometimes I remember watching the movie and it's like, sometimes I feel that way as a teacher. I've done all this and now you want more.
Yeah.
And in this sort of attitude. So it kind of triggered some teacher moments for me. There were some that just made me completely uncomfortable, but there's others that were just like, I did like the fact that he was working hard to connect with them. So, and I'm not a huge fan of teacher movies. I actually do not like a lot of teacher movies because it's always a class size of 8. I think this one had a class size of 9 or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of the other ones disappeared.
Well, if you're gonna put in the work to get high school tenure, you're gonna have some different you got to do. What is high school tenure? I've never heard of that. Apparently, it is a real thing. We looked it up because I was just like, tenure? What? That's not a thing. Also, summer school is not a punishment for teachers. So the fact that there was no one there and he was forced to do summer school rather than, I think I'll get paid and I'll work for another month out of the year, like, bizarre too. So there's a couple of things in here that don't make sense, but whatever.
Well, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of American stuff that I didn't get, like that cop that was wandering around the school handing out tickets.
Oh, the truancy officer.
Summer school.
Is that what it was?
That's not.
Yeah.
I for someone who goes to American school, they do not do that. You get that stuff. You get that stuff in your homeroom. You don't. They don't cop, like the security cop or whatever he is doesn't come and give you summer school.
It's also not
tickets.
A surprise.
You kind of know based on your report card that you're probably going to summer school. So I don't. It's the only way they can gather them up, I guess, in the movie. Unless
Chainsaw went from an 8 to a 56.
Yeah.
How did you not know you were not going going to summer school with an 8?
He was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Sorry, we got an Amazon delivery.
And he just coming right inside the house?
No, he
awesome.
buzzed us. Yeah. But I've never seen that in summer in any kind of schooling that I've gone to.
Every time I
I've
watch,
only seen the truant officer in TV and movies.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious if it's just a fabrication made up by Hollywood.
I feel it, unless it's a California thing, but
Yeah,
I've gone to many American schools all over the place in England and in the States because I'm a military brat. So I've been to a ton of schools and none of them ever done that.
Do they have hall passes?
Yeah.
I never understood hall passes. That's not like I've taught for 24 years. I've never seen any school use a hall pass, and that's
And
so
they're
weird
always
for me.
different too. They're always like big things you have to carry somewhere. So like the guy who used the restroom pass, it's kind of like that. That was my favorite character too. But yeah, that's kind of like that. You walk around with this giant thing, so it makes you want to come back. But yeah,
But
you just can't trust American kids, man. They just take off.
were there like hall monitors as well?
Yes, students are hall monitors.
The
What do
nerd.
they do in the hall? Aren't they supposed to be in school?
I guess during a
cleaning?
free period, they get to go monitor the halls.
Yeah,
I used to
studying
watch
to become a rat.
It's usually like the nerdy kids that do it. Yeah, and you just kind of like ignore them. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
That's so weird for me. It's because I remember watching Recess quite a lot, the TV show Disney's Recess, one of
Yeah.
my favorite cartoons. And they're talking about hall monitors and stuff, and I'm like, you should be in school and sitting outside the hall, keeping an eye on kids and tattletaling. It just seemed like, is this something that Hollywood just makes up? But apparently they are.
It's also
Training to
set
become an
up,
informant.
yeah, it's also setting those poor kids up to get teased all the time too, because they're the tattletale. So maybe they should. Maybe that's why the security officer's a better idea. I don't know. Now there's just police. So, but
I did dig the beginning scenes of this movie where they're signing yearbooks and handing in the textbooks. I do remember that part, and some textbooks are trashed and some are still in the wrapper. The guy checking like, this hasn't even been cracked open yet.
Yeah.
What are some memories of for Jamie? Let me try that again. Jamie, what are some memories of high school for you that maybe came back while watching this movie?
Honestly, I think it was so far removed from any experience that I had in high school that I don't think it dredged up anything really, to be honest.
Oh, can you tell me a memory of high school in general then? Work with me, Jamie. Work with me.
I could. Yeah, if you want.
How about this? What type of kid were you in high school?
Oh, I was pretty good. I wasn't like a troublemaker or anything like that. I kind of did a little bit of everything, like sports, drama, art, all that stuff.
You did drama?
Mhm.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Shannon, what type of kid were you in high school?
I was a kid who I was very much like Pam in this movie. We lived in Florida at the time when I was in high school. So I was always trying to leave to go to the beach. So I was always scheming. I've actually worked it to where I get out of school every day at noon. So I worked the system. So I don't know. I was a good schemer to get out of things so I can do other things.
I have women problems.
No, but I didn't have to do that. I had DCT, which means I leave high school and I go to a community college during high school and learn actual stuff I need to know. Like I took business math and a bunch of other stuff. And then I got to leave school early. So I got to leave at noon and be with adults. I was more of an adult person than a child in school. So
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Scott, did you go to school in Canada?
Yeah, Vancouver, born and raised.
Vancouver.
I have two very different situations. When I went to elementary school, my mom was a teacher at the school, so I could get away with nothing. And then eventually she was vice principal. So she was an LAC teacher. So she taught like all the grades, all of kids that needed extra help. And then once I got to high school, all of a sudden, whoa, nobody knows this. Nobody knows who I am. And so I kind of got like a lot more quiet. I mean, I was kind of a bit of a drama kid. I didn't really love organized sports, but I was good at them. And that's when I discovered it's just like, I don't want to do basketball on a team. I'd rather just play basketball outside and that sort of stuff. And then academically, I was just looking to get out of everything, basically. Hence why I ended up in summer school. And then summer school was actually kind of interesting. And I kind of thrived in summer school because, that first day, you're there, you're the new kid again, you're at a different school. So it wasn't like summer school didn't take place at the high school I went to. And then, I'm there. And then on day 2, we got tested on everything that we did the first day. And of course, I was barely paying attention, but man, that was eye-opening. And then day 2, 3, 4, and 5 is like, learn something one day, test it on the next day. And I could retain it and I could do well. And then I excelled and I did really, really like good, decent. And then I realized like, wow, so you're telling me I can screw around for like 10 months out of the year and then just crush this out in summer school? Like, okay, I'll do that. So lazy student that's, took a while. Wasn't until I went to Langara College like 3 years after I graduated where I finally became a student, knew how to study, learned how to take notes, and was doing stuff that I was actually interested in. And then that's when I finally all clicked together. So,
yeah. That's awesome. I think I like what you said. You were athletic, but you didn't like organized sports. I think that's how I felt as well. I was on the rugby team and I was on for 1 year That's the only year we had the rugby team. And I was on the soccer team for 1 year, and I was talked into it, which I'm kind of glad I was. But other than that, I was involved in sports outside school. I loved doing that. I was a band kid. I played the trombone. I was even in an orchestra after that for a couple of years. But I played the trombone all by ear. I could not read the music. And when I hit that orchestra, it became very, very apparent that I did not know how to read music. And I was like, I'm just going to see my way out. Because you had all these kids who were like 5 years younger on the violin, just and I'm just bwah, 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 and I could not figure myself out. That's me. That was literally me. That's a recording of me. So, but I mean, I wasn't popular or anything like that, but I did have, I had a good group of friends that in school. I think you all try to get just like that core group of friends. And yeah, as a teacher, I want to be as cool as Shoop, but over the years you realize that that's pushover, and the kids don't respect them unless you do that extra mile of getting to know them. And now, as a teacher, I'm not going to go too much into it, but I think I'm a very, very different person as a teacher than I am now. Like, I'm smiling right now. So, as a teacher, it's just like, no, I'm not intended to be, but I do have my lines not to cross, and it's all about just routine and how things should be, and but still creating a very safe environment, respectful environment. And that's, I'm not going to get into my career though. So I wanted to play a quick little game with you guys. First of all, this is in honor of Neil. Neil couldn't be here, but he was kind of angry about first of all, he threatened me. He says, if you rate this higher than Napoleon Dynamite were through his friends. So Neil and me are no longer friends. But
bye, Neil. We'll miss you.
Neil.
Oh. What was the score on Napoleon Dynamite?
I think I gave it like a 3.
Oh.
So I was not a fan. But it seems to be the running.
Rob doesn't like good movies.
Yeah.
Jamie, what was your rating?
I think mine was fair. I think it was like a 6.5 or something. Like I liked that movie, but I recognize it as not necessarily an awesome movie. Like it's actually kind of baffling watching it. Like, how is this movie popular? Like, it's funny, but it's just super quirky and weird. Like it just feels like the maker of the film made a deal with the devil or something to make it popular. It's like so weird.
That's something for a guy who's
I'll watch it and I'll talk about it and I'll laugh my head off and say quotes all day long.
Yeah.
But
that's the same. It's very quotable. Yeah.
How did this movie get like the mass appeal? Basically, it's so strange.
I need a rewatch because I watched it around when it came out. Never watched it again. I don't think. I remember quotes. I know quotes from it, but I've not gone back and watched it again. And that can sometimes be a signal that it's not a super amazing movie. But you're right. It was popular.
Super popular.
I do have a couple of movies in my head where I'm just like, oh man, that movie's hilarious. Like there's a Ben Stiller movie called Mystery Men where quote it all the time, and then I sat down and watched it again. I'm just like, wow, this movie is horrible. Why did I think it was so great? It's more fun to quote it than it is to watch it.
I think that goes for a lot of movies. Better to quote than to watch.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. Jamie, you gave that 6.5, by the way.
Yeah.
Napoleon, I gave it a 4.5.
Yeah.
So but so the game I wanted to play, it's one of the things that Anil was frustrated about was how old the actors were who played the kids. So we're gonna play name that or age that child. Name that age. Age that student. How's that? That sounds better.
Yeah.
So let's start with Shannon. I'm gonna give you Chainsaw. How old do you think the actor was when he played Chainsaw?
He was definitely in his 20s. I want to say 26. Or no,
very
24.
close. 24, you're saying. What do you think, Scott?
Did you say go 26 or 24?
I would go 24.
I'm going to go 27.
27. Jamie?
25.
25 is the answer. Yes, he was 25 years old.
Par for the
There you
course,
go.
isn't it?
Ding, ding, ding. How about his buddy Dave? Scott, how old do you think he is?
It's 26.
26. No, I'm gonna speed up a little bit. He was only 20. He was
Yeah, I
only
was gonna say
20 years
he's
old.
still younger. Yeah.
Interesting.
He looked younger though. He did look like a high school student to me. So Jamie, Pam, the surfer.
Which one was Pam?
Pam the
That
surfer.
was a surfer. Oh, the
Courtney.
creepy one.
Yeah.
Oh, she looked like she was at least 40. So, no. I'm gonna say 27.
27. No, she was just 20
Oh,
this
really?
time. Yeah. Thanks for filling in there, Steve, or hopping in there. It's a good movie, so Rob didn't like it. Thank you very much.
Wow.
As just to quote Steve, shut it. Okay, back to Shannon. Rhonda, the pregnant girl.
Oh God, yeah, she was in a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, I was
I
surprised
still
how
want
much
to
stuff
say
she was
she's
in.
like, yeah, I want to say she's like 25.
She was 18.
No
So,
way.
yeah,
Damn, I
she was
was-
Oh, these
18.
guys are bucking the trend.
Yeah.
Oh,
But they were playing 16-year-olds. So
yeah.
Yeah, but
so a little
normally
bit.
Normally they'd be like 30 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Kelly, the bad driver, Scott.
22.
21. Very good. Almost. Jamie, Anna Maria, the hot girl. A lot of vagina.
I'll say she was 24.
23. Very close. She was
Close.
23. Alan the nerd, Shannon.
Oh God.
Mr. Shoot.
Why do I feel like he's older than he
Yeah.
looks? I'm just gonna say like 25.
21.
No way.
really?
I feel
Yeah.
like he looks older than he sounds older than he looks.
Kevin, I believe this is the football player. Scott.
The big guy. Yeah.
22.
22. Bang on. 22. Very good.
Oh.
And finally, give him applause. Finally, Larry the stripper, Jamie. I saved this one for you
Oh.
because that was your part-time job when you just out of high school for you.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta make a buck. It's hard to be a youngster. God, I want to say he was 26.
He was 29. Like I had to double check this. He was 29 when he did this. I don't know how old the football player was, but his dad and his son were both professional football players in the NFL. So there's not a surprise with that one. But I did enjoy that character a lot, Shannon. He just like the computer's wrong. And
Yeah.
I think the computer was wrong. So.
Do we know how old Mark Harmon was at the time?
He was 36 or something like that. I remember he was around 36. I think the same age as Kirstie Alley. So,
Okay.
and this was a year before Cheers. So,
Oh yeah. That guy also scored higher than anybody else at the end too, right? I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Near the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. He scored higher.
Yeah, the guy who wasn't taught by Mr. Shoop
Yeah. Yeah.
got the highest score. Coincidence?
all their scores went up.
Still failing.
100%. Yeah.
Not all of them. Some of them were passed. Like I think Dave passed. He'll try better next time, though.
I can try better next time. I could fail. I could fail next time.
And he was the one doing C.
Oh, I know. That's the funny part about it.
Did any of you guys ever try that on a test?
No, I would randomly go pick. I thought that would be. I thought I'd get in trouble if I did that. So did you
I've
guys do that?
probably done that and may have done better, but
It's a 1 out of 4 chance.
exactly.
Want to talk about favorite moments here? Jamie, we'll start with you. Some of the favorite moments from this movie.
I like the petting zoo.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it had everything. It had killer bunnies, and they had me at killer bunnies. That was amazing.
Yeah. You like your
Mhm.
bunnies.
Yep.
Killer bunny.
How about you, Scott?
I think that one is very memorable. I mean, I don't want to steal Shannon's. I know Shannon's is at the end of the movie, but
We could be the same.
I Yeah, that's true. It is the best scene. It's the scene at the end with the substitute teacher where the similar horrific things are happening that Chainsaw and Dave have created. And I mean, it's so out of left field, yet perfect. And the fact that, it's great team building. They're all in there. And then they all go to the beach. So later when they're still in, the thing with the girl, the thing in her
Harmonica
mouth.
thing in her mouth.
Yeah, that was fantastic that she was still in that garb when
I think
they
she had a
went to.
ruler. I think that was a ruler in her mouth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super elaborate. I mean, those kids were skilled.
I believe I may be wrong on this, but I believe there was an actual well-known makeup artist who was a part of that.
He was
Who was
uncredited
it?
too.
Rick Baker.
It was Rick Baker. That's right.
Yeah.
But
Did
goes
they
uncredited.
mention Rick Baker in the movie?
They
Like
do.
as part
It's
of the
very
book report or something like that?
Was he a driver's
Yeah.
person, like a driver's ed guy or something?
No.
Oh,
They mention him. They mention it
they did.
because
Yeah.
of Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember them name dropping Rick Baker. I'm like, that's good taste.
Shannon, what about you? Is it the Rick Baker moment?
It's the final scene, because that to me at the end was awesome. Back then, when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And my first thought was, "Who's going to clean this all up?" But but also they said like the substitute teacher was reenacting Laura Dern from The Mask, but I don't know what scene.
Not the substitute teacher. The girl that came into the hallway when she was crying.
Yeah, sorry. Denise. Is it Denise?
Denise?
Yeah,
Denise.
she was reenacting Laura Dern, but I can't find that scene in The Mask.
We haven't been able to track down that
No,
scene.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, but it's definitely that scene. I just love it. And we like horror movies. So, I mean, I've always been that way. So, yeah, that was my favorite scene. It saved the movie in some aspects of it. So, yeah, that was it. And then also my other favorite part was the dog finding Bob at the end.
Oh, when you said final scene, I thought that's the one you were talking about.
The
finding the head.
Yeah.
And just getting in there with the kissing. That was kind of gross, but cute all at the same time. He was like, he was right in there. And I think Harmon just started French kissing the poor pooch. So it reminded me of Deadpool. If you've seen that movie, you guys seen the movie?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds just goes to town on that dog.
Yeah.
That's just
which in the Ryan Reynolds thing, apparently he had like a bunch of dog food or whatever beside him or in his mouth, so the dog would do it. So what did Mark Harmon have? Don't know.
Probably the same.
Kirstie Alley.
Approach. Yeah, that's right. That's bullying.
They just put tune on her. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I did enjoy just the horror scene was really funny. The part where they're all swearing, it's a nightmare for me. But watching Kirstie Alley just come in here like, what the hell's going on? And then just kind of like, oh yeah, flip off, fake blowjob and walk out kind of thing.
Face every time. Yeah, that was like, oh my god.
I'm kind of surprised rewatching that. I'm surprised that final one where she does the hand motion is in it. Like that seems quite excessive for the time. Even now, just throwing that out there, I think that would be kind of pushing it. But I don't know. It's crazy.
Oh, hang on. First of all, speaking of teachers, Aaron Lutch just popped in. Oh, hey guys, just sitting at an airport watching my favorite Peeps. Is he on a trip, Jamie? I didn't know he was going on a trip.
Yeah, I think this is the weekend coming up where they're going to San Francisco.
Oh, nice. Safe. I hope you're safe out there, Aaron.
I think if I'm right, they're seeing Deftones and System of a Down in concert.
Oh, nice.
Not just airport enthusiast that likes to go and hang out there. That could be a thing.
Oh, I like Aaron. Oh God, did you expect your pop-up video to do pop-up video like that? Oh, I miss pop-up video.
Oh my gosh.
Just say a fact, Aaron. We'll pop it up for you. So depending on the fact, really.
Just start cursing.
Start
saying just horrible shit.
Does Aaron have a favorite airport he likes to hang out at? I'm just going with the enthusiast. I do. I have a favorite airport. Well, real quick, I love the Houston airport for efficiency's sake.
Or Dallas?
Getting around there.
Dallas.
Sorry, I was wrong. George W., the Dallas airport. Really easy to get around. They've got like that monorail style thing. Get there from it's fantastic. It's a well-oiled
airport.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I like my airports oiled. That's nice.
Yeah.
Lubricated.
Very lubricated. I I want to talk about some of the more awkward moments in this one, as coming from a teacher. Some things that just made me cringe beyond belief. Now, there is the obvious one. Jamie, it's funny because you and me, when we were working on the Proton Pack, we were talking about Sting songs, and "Don't Stand So Close to Me" came up, and this was one of those moments. It's just like I don't know. I don't know
want to
how.
think about that.
Yeah,
That was yeah. The with the surfer girl who just decided to move in with Mr. Shoop, and they.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was being just willfully naive, being like, no, this isn't that. It's just gonna be totally platonic, and it's gonna be super wholesome. And nope, she wants to sleep with him. Like that was super creepy and weird.
It's very creepy. I think that was probably her whole carriage on line was slightly creepy.
Now, remind me, is the party before she moves in?
Party was yes, but the
where she's in his
advances
room
were
on his
during.
bed, right?
Yeah, he's hiding in his bedroom while the kids are drinking beer in his house next in the other room with the fireworks and the beer and stuff. So that alone was just.
I think Shoop might not be a very good person.
And so while he's sitting there, she walks in, and then she's just kind of
laying there on the bed and doesn't immediately get up and do anything. Continues to lay on the bed for about 14 minutes before you should have gotten the hell out of there.
Yes.
So uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
And I try to think back. Okay, it's the 80s. I mean, me and Jamie got into a long discussion of just songs that were inappropriate and just some of the movies and the videos and all that sort of stuff. And you want to say it's a different time, but come on, it's still friggin' wrong, even at this time. And it was just, Shoop's a nice guy.
Songs, a lot of police songs. Unfortunately. But yeah, it's honestly the creepiness of that scene where she moves in and she's like, "Oh, I'll cook and I'll clean." It's really hammered home when Kirstie Alley's character walks in. It's like, what the hell is going on? Okay, good. I'm glad it's not just me. Thanks, Kirstie Alley.
She was also creepy. That I'll let you know what my wish is in the classroom. Right. That was creepy too. Yeah, I was like,
no.
Now, and Harmon being naive though. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so there's another scene that never happened, and they mention it a couple of times, which is going to the Lamaze coaching. And I thought, oh, they're not gonna show that. Everybody else got their thing, the driving lesson, the party, all of these other details, but they kept not showing the Lamaze coach. And it's just like, well, wait a second, the Lamaze class. And then it's just like, wait, you're gonna show this bedroom scene that's really, really long and moving in, but you're not gonna the Lamaze is too racy or something like that. But I think
to be fair, Mark Harmon didn't actually do the task. The other guy did it with her instead.
But they're walking down the way, and then they cut to the driving lesson. I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a lot of weird scenes that cut. So
he did go to the first class, and at first I was like, I guess this is okay. It just seems like still wrong though. It's a very personal situation. Like, where the hell are the parents? But I did get you saw when what's her face was staying over at where Pam was going to stay over at Shoop's house, and the parents, I think it was the parents, because she would call them all by their first name.
Brothers.
So it was the brother and his wife and their kids. Yeah, we went back and had to watch that again too, because it's like, who are they referencing?
I don't know where her parents are.
Yeah, the parents are never around at all.
Was that the guy with the nice flowing mullet? Because he was in the office at the end too, right?
Yes. That was the one of the dads. That was a different.
No, that was him. That was the brother.
Yeah. Because I
watched this movie again last night to be sure.
Oh, okay.
And that was the brother. Because I was like,
just weird that they just hand him over. Okay, yeah, we'll see you later. Just take care of her.
She said she was willing to sleep on the floor too, but there's a floor at your brother's place. Yeah. There's a lot going on there that just doesn't make any sense.
The underage drinking. The football coaching was totally fine. that was his element. He's a coach. All right, great, no problem there. Teaching driving, okay, it's still, you're crossing a line, you just don't get that familiar. But when you compare it to all the other shit, it just, and I don't like, I've been watching a number of reviews lately just to understand the movie better and people's reactions to the movie. And nobody ever talks about the creepiness of this. And there is a level of creep that's just wrong. Showing like a horror movie in this. I mean, Jamie's laughing probably because Cujo was in Ghostbusters.
I would love the horror movie in the classroom, but that's just me.
I would get my ass fired if I showed that.
At all. Yeah.
Well, and the principal even walks in during that moment and then doesn't call him on it and then leaves, right? So
because they had a deal.
Yeah.
But he's also collecting information. He's just like, all right, another one I can write down here. I'll let this happen. I'll let that happen. He's just watching the chaos, letting the tornado spin a little bit. But it was just, that was the only part of this movie I did not appreciate. Was I wanted to cheer for Shoop, but there's certain things you just don't do. And maybe it's just the teacher hat that was getting in the way for me. But it's still just a little creepy.
It's an odd choice too, because for a character that's like friends to everybody, so straight laced, so just straight and narrow, trying to do everything right, trying to help everybody. But then why keep this aspect in here? Like, what you're not trying to say, oh, he's got a little dark, he's flawed, because none of that. But this scene just seems so out of place.
Yeah,
or those scenes really.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't want to dwell too much on that, but it is kind of the elephant in the room with this movie. You can't get past this, especially in 2024, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
So any which way,
80s movies that there's a lot of things. I mean, to be fair, in the 80s we were all sort of, we can go anywhere. I can go to another state for a whole day. My parents would never know, and they probably wouldn't care. So so kids are more watched now than they were back then. They would parents lock you out and tell you to come home when the lights come on. So we got away with a lot. I'm surprised we're alive, but
that's the motto of Gen X. I'm surprised we're alive.
I'm surprised we're alive. Yeah.
Anything we got to wrap this up soon here, but I want to ask, is there anything else about this movie that just you want to share or discuss? I'll start with Shannon. Is there something about this that you just want to kind of pass on to wrap up about?
I just think it's a fun movie to watch. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I'm always surprised when someone hasn't seen it, but I don't know. But there is some weird moments in there where it changes from one scene to another with no mention of like that kind of is weird. I'm probably done watching this for a while though, because I think I've watched it like
too much
8 times now.
Wow, like
know it by heart. So I could probably live this out.
Too much Shoop.
Too much Shoop.
Oh, you can never have too much Shoop.
Yeah, and actually, the school that they filmed in was where Karate Kid was filmed, as well as the street next to it was named Shoop Street or something.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Like a block away, Shoop Street. Yeah, but I mean, I think it's worth watching if you haven't seen it. I mean, you will. A typical 80s movie, you'll probably find some weird things in it, but it does have some holes that they've cut out 2 hours of footage from this movie, so that explains why it's so weird.
Wow.
All Lamaze scenes.
Yeah, probably all Lamaze. Yeah, I mean it's I feel like it's worth watching. You haven't seen it, but just be aware that you're going into something that might be uncomfortable in a couple spots. But that's a lot of 80s movies, so I
do like the payoff at the end, though. Yes. I mean, yeah, I know it's not realistic. Just put the just put that aside. It is what it is. But it's the fact that he's kind of like he's pumping up the fact that they all did improve and they're feeling better about themselves. It is a nice payoff, and he does get tenure, which is
it's a lighthearted movie. I guess you can say it's like a lighthearted movie.
Spoiler. What about you, Scott? Anything you want to share with us before we wrap this up?
So how I learned about all of these beer commercials in the scene where he is rollerblading or roller skating, where those guys are drinking the beer, where Chainsaw and Dave are drinking the beer, and he gets arrested. If you watch closely, because I know you're going to go back and watch this, he had separated his shoulder during one of the filming of one of those beer commercials. So if you watch him getting handcuffed, they only show the one arm coming down. and you can kind of see like there's like a mark on one of his
He has
shoulders.
a scar here.
He's
Yeah.
skating along, not wincing, but I mean, he's such an amazing actor, right? But I mean, he skated around this. He didn't come across. But all of those scenes where he's got his shirt off, he's like basically had a separated shoulder.
When he skated, his arms didn't move. You noticed that his arms didn't move when he skated. He didn't want to move his arm. Yeah, because you normally would move your arms. He's just stiff. So
yeah.
How the hell do you separate your shoulder in a Coors commercial?
Pounding beers.
It's his drinking arm. He just separated it. Yeah.
In the commercials, he used an axe to cut wood. So he was doing that multiple times.
Oh,
I feel
he's a lightweight.
Doing manly stuff. Yeah.
Something that required surgery.
Fishing, casting out.
I think it's the chopping of the wood.
Could be that.
I think so.
Yeah.
But
friggin' lightweight. I'm so disappointed suddenly.
Chopping
wood.
Well, they
I was
probably
doing
made
that at 10
over and over again. Yeah.
Jamie, what about you? Anything you want to say? Last words about this movie?
I don't know.
Before we rate it.
It was tough for me. Like, I couldn't not think about rating it, and it's a little bit more difficult when, for me, anyways, when I hadn't seen this movie originally, so I didn't have like any kind of nostalgia or anything. I also like you saying that this movie came before Bill and Ted, like the first Bill and Ted movie, is actually kind of mind-blowing to me. So it's tough to tell like if this movie was derivative of other stuff that came before and it was like it's just borrowing from other 80s classics movies, or if this was kind of the movie that set the trend for a lot of others. It was hard not to think about that as I was watching it. Fun movie though, for sure.
It is very 80s. And,
absolutely, yeah.
Totally. The music, style, everything, roller skating, and a dog. Well, Jamie, what do you want to rate this then? Out of 10, what would you give this?
Oh man, this is a hard one, dude.
Remember some of our categories. Would you cosplay? Would you watch this again? Would you own it?
So nobody wants to see me roller skating around with my shirt off. So let's just start there. If we're talking cosplays.
700 subs.
What about bunnies? You got bunnies on your face?
Yeah,
I could see you cosplay that.
Oh, I would do that. I would do that.
That might help the rating a little.
Not real bunnies, but the makeup was great. Yeah. Yeah, the makeup was pretty good. Oh, yeah. So I mean, I'm not about to go and like watch this again immediately, or really like I wouldn't put it on like a yearly watch type thing. And I don't know if I would even like continue watching it, like if it popped up on TV, for example, like if I was just flipping channels. It's like I feel like I'd on those grounds I'd probably give it like a 5.5 or a 6. So like I feel pretty comfortable giving it a 5.5.
All right, 5.5. I'm typing in the computer right now. Shannon, what would you give it?
I probably same, but I probably would watch it again if it did come on TV just randomly, but I don't actually have TV, so it would be in a hotel room maybe. If it comes on in a hotel room, I might
on Super
play
Channel again.
Yeah, I would probably give it
free weekend on Super Channel.
Yeah, exactly.
There's probably so many people watching this or listening to this being like, what the hell is Super Channel?
Yeah, where can I get it?
Yeah, well, in the States, they had a Super Channel situation. I think it was called Super Station. So very close.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'd probably give it probably a 5, I think, because there's so many other 80s movies I love more, but I would still watch it again, maybe a year from now. Because I've watched that scene with Courtney too many times now. I need to get over it and then watch something else, like Lost Boys.
Scott, what about you?
I'm surprised. I'm giving it a 4.5.
Ooh,
4.5. Why?
So the 4, it was going to be a 4 before I watched all those beer commercials, and then it went up to 5 after the beer commercials, and then I'm bringing it, to even it out. I got to go 4.5 to really, that just sums it up because of everything that we just said. Like, it's just not one that I'm going to search out. It's not as good as I remember it being. There is that little bit of cringe stuff. It's a Chainsaw and Dave vehicle They should have got their own movie. Just spin
Yeah,
it
that
off.
would be great.
You know, it's I guess the closest kind of movie to it would be Breakfast Club. Like, there's not. Is there other summer school movies out there? I don't know, but it's nowhere near as good as Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that's a
No.
tough comparison
Fine.
too.
It's a movie that's
Breakfast Club's
fine.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
just fine movie. There's no just fine. That's just it. It's a fine score with a fine movie.
Yeah.
Before I give my rating, Steve Hosnose says you rated this higher than Dark Crystal. Shame.
Whoa.
Yes, yeah, you gave it point,
mean-
0.5 more.
It is what it is. Yeah.
I am not. I agree with Jamie here. In fact, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm not kidding. It's I enjoyed this movie a lot. I really had to push away the creepiness of it, but at the same time, I found myself actually laughing out loud, enjoying the silliness of Chainsaw and the gang. And when I was younger, Chainsaw was my least favorite character because I felt he was over the top and trying to be like Bill Murray. But now he's just like, he's actually pretty funny. He carries himself pretty well. Just everybody was just kind of fun to watch. It was, and at the time, as a kid, Kirstie Alley was really pretty, and I like that. Now, older, it is just like I remember enjoying Kirstie Alley. So I had some good feels while watching this, and so I gave it a 7. Yeah, much higher than Dark Crystal, as a matter of fact. I don't know how that happened.
You rated low, huh?
I gave
Wow.
Dark Crystal a 5 as well. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Dark Crystal was a weird one. Like, it was beautiful, but the story made no sense.
I do like how you compared it to Breakfast Club. I mean, this is obviously very silly, lighthearted, leans more towards Ferris Bueller silliness, but Breakfast Club is again a high school, but they're trying to figure themselves out and try to understand where they are in life. These kids would know where they are in life. So you're the weird one, Steve Lewis says. So
Oh no, I'm weird. I'm not denying that, but maybe
In our book is
don't,
so
Yes.
we're big fans. Weird.
we're in good company right here.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Other than that, first of all, Scott, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us on this one. I'm so glad we got to talk another fun movie, and I think we're on a good roll here. We're gonna have to get another good one. I like your choices. I like the ones that are not just the ones that everybody knows, like Bill and Ted. Like we're gonna get some weird ones here. Like,
Well, we're lucky we didn't give you Hard Bodies because that's something.
which one's Hard Bodies again?
Hard Body, you should look it up.
You're gonna
I'm
remember
looking.
the
And
video
me-
cassette cover from the movie store.
It's not
From
the
back
Sure
in the
Thing though.
day.
You confuse it
They're
with the
very,
Sure
very
Thing.
similar.
Yeah.
But one of the things that was going, you remember it now.
I'm looking at the cover. I
either
remember
that,
it.
her, or his Google turned up entirely different results.
Yeah, that's the problem with
It's
the
true.
title.
That's-
Yeah,
We were
it's a
also
Gilmore Girls reference too.
going to suggest Stand By Me.
And
then I-
Too serious. Too serious.
Yeah,
But I also-
exactly.
yeah,
also-
Rob would hate that one. It's a serious movie.
I just thought we would all be like, yeah, that's a perfect movie. There's like not much to dissect, but there is
Pretty good.
because of all of the characters,
Yeah.
the actors that grew up and some that didn't grow up. But it's
Yeah.
a fantastic movie. The narration on that is amazing. That's a 10 out of 10.
But if you haven't seen
And
Hard
like-
Rob,
Bodies,
what would you give Stand By Me?
I
Zero?
remember enjoying
Make it
it.
one?
I remember enjoying it. So it's been
I don't believe
I've been decades since I've seen it. So
Mhm.
yeah, Stephen King. I like Stephen King. So
Oh, yeah.
You do not.
yes, I do. Okay. Going back to Hard Bodies real quick. When you look at the cover of Hard Bodies, it's, obviously you see the torso of a bikini clad woman, but with Hard Bodies like whipped creamed on her belly. And then it goes, and this IMDb goes more like this. It's got private resort, fraternity vacation, private school, spring break. It's all bikini.
it's totally a dude's movie, but just I don't know why. I think I introduced you to it.
You did, yeah.
It's very a dude's movie, but for some reason, I watched it on USA Up All Night in the States. That came on at the time, and I just thought it was so ridiculous. But yeah, so now it's just a thing now. We watch Hard Bodies every now
For me,
Yeah.
Hard Bodies was the videotape that I always looked at when I was at the store, but
Mhm.
knew if I brought it home, may not be the thing that I'd be able to watch. It would be a-
Yeah.
Like maybe it shouldn't be on the just general racks.
Yeah.
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 I think we also toyed with the movie Satisfaction as well. Because that's sort of
Oh
a summary
yeah,
movie.
yeah. That's marketed as a Justine Bateman movie
Mhm.
when it first came out, and then later on, Julia Roberts became really, really famous, and then they shifted all of the marketing to put Julia Roberts on the front of the DVD.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting one.
Anyway. Yeah.
We talk
Yeah.
endlessly about crappy movies, but I know we'll wrap up.
Yeah, Joysticks just came up. I saw 10 minutes of that movie. I'm like, fuck this. I cannot watch this movie. It was
Which one?
just so Joysticks, where the bunch of horny kids run an arcade, and it's going to get shut down by a mean old man, and so they have to find a way to keep it going. It's so
Oh man.
Wow,
anyway.
We do love the cheesy movies.
we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff out there. Scott, Shannon, where can we find you guys?
So YouTube channel, Hey Weirdos. That's where we put most of our content. Also, Hey Weirdos on Instagram. We'll put up little shorts and reels on there. But primarily, Hey Weirdos, check us out there. Lots of stuff coming soon.
Awesome. And you have some really good videos if you like Teslas. You're testing out Teslas, trying that sort of stuff out. You go with the cons, and what I like about your videos when you hit the cons and such is not only seeing some of the bigger stuff, like there's a 501st, but also just looking at the tables, look at the homemade stuff that people make, or some of the purses, or as Shannon loves the 3D printed stuff. It's just like there's so many cool things to check out there. So I really enjoy your videos. So check out the YouTube channel for sure.
Yeah, we got good
Jamie,
stuff.
I apologize, Shannon. What's that?
No, I just said we have good stuff coming up too. We're planning a trip to Salem, so we're gonna be doing that.
Massachusetts?
Yep.
Mhm.
We're gonna be burning
Awesome.
some witches.
Yes.
No, don't
Nice.
burn the witches, Rob. Haven't
didn't
they
do
been
any-
through enough already?
I've been researching
weighs
it all.
as
They didn't do anything wrong. Yeah.
That's
It
cool.
weighs as much as a
That's
duck.
Yeah.
You burn it. Jamie, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Generation X Wing podcast YouTube channel on the ongoing video series Ready to Believe. Still doing Ghostbuster stuff. Yeah, we literally just filmed some last night while talking about creepy Sting and Police songs. So yeah, we got another pack upgrade coming up. We have some 3D printing stuff coming up. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, lots more to come.
I was going to end the podcast with a song from the movie, but I kind of want to just end it with "Don't Stand,
Don't
So
Stand.
Close to Me." Yeah, I think that's where I think it needs to end that way.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
a banger of a song. Just don't listen to the lyrics.
There's a lot of songs like that.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up.
There's always loose talk in the staff room. That's what
Steve, host, it's not Hose Nose, so I apologize, Hose Nose. Steve 3, Hose Nose, get out of the way. Steve 3, you can find him at Shit Spackled Muppet Fart on Instagram. He's right now, as I said, at the premiere of Alien Romulus, and he's got some great cosplay stuff. He does a lot of Alien cosplay, Deadpool, just name it, he cosplays it. So check out his Instagram account. Neil at Space Hindu 73. Don't forget, he's putting some stuff up, I've noticed, of his old concert photography, and he's so talented. So check out that. And as for me, Outer Rim Rookie on YouTube channel that you're watching right now, and the Outer Rim Rookie on Facebook and Instagram. I'm working on building an AT-AT driver costume, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So I hope you check that out. My recent video that came out, is about who is Captain Nyrox, another unknown character from Star Wars lore that I get to share information about. So it's kind of cool. Thanks for watching. Again, thanks, Scott and Shannon, for coming onto the show, and we will talk to you guys later. So bye.
Bye, guys.
And here we go. We're going to end the show properly. We're going to end live stream. So are you ready for this? This is our thanks for watching. With Steve Lewis saying, son of a, that's the best way to end it right there. All right, we're going to end this stream. See you guys later.
All right. Bye.
Good night, everybody.